For the first video, I thought I'd share why I decided to do this. Um, I am 31 years old and I've been in the military since November of 2015. Um, I was recently deployed to um, Djibouti, Africa. While I was there, I went to outstations. Um, and, we have outstations throughout the whole continent of Africa. And there are some places there that are better than others, obviously, like any other country. Uh, my time there was cut short because I experienced problems where I was continually losing consciousness, just randomly passing out. No reason. I lost consciousness a few times. And like most people in the military, I was like, don't tell anyone, you don't want to get sent home, or you don't want to so you hide shit, you hide your medical problems because that's just the culture of the army. And until it got to a point where I realized that I needed, I needed to start talking to people and get it addressed. The temperature was climbing, and if I were on my way to work and I lost consciousness and nobody saw me, I would literally just get cooked and be, it would cook my brain and I'd be gone. On that, we have found that I have something called neurocardiogenic syncope, vasovagal syncope. Um, because I suffer from post traumatic stress disorder, as many veterans do and service members do, I have heightened levels of anxiety a lot of times. You know, that that nervousness that you have from always being on edge. In the military, you're instilled with a very interesting sense of the world, right? If you make mistakes in combat, it costs people's lives. If you make mistakes in the military, it costs people's lives. So every little detail is very heavily weighed in everything. Like your attention to detail and your being deliberate and meticulous in your action is extremely important, and that's instilled in you from the day you join, right? um, you know you forget a pin, you can't write stuff down for your 9-line medevac, you cost somebody's life, and it's like something simple like that, right? So um, when it's little things are always huge your whole career, um, and you're anxious all the time, you're obviously going to, after a long time, start to suffer from issues. So um, my anxiety levels end up creating, you know, tension and pressure on my nervous system, and then my autonomic nervous system, when it's overwhelmed, will just tell my heart to stop, and I will lose consciousness. So I just randomly pass out, basically, you know from this problem where I get so much anxiety, and then my instead of you have a cortisol dump, which would translate to adrenaline. um, Normally that would enhance my capacity to perform my functions, right? Because I would be hyper focused, hyper vigilant. I'd be able to accomplish a lot of tasks very quickly after I would get hit by the adrenaline. Well, now my body, for whatever reason, has developed the coping mechanism to just shut down, and I just lose consciousness. The problem with that is when your heart stops and you're not getting oxygenated blood to your brain, you start to experience cognitive decline. I've been noticing in the past month or two that my cognitive capabilities are declining. I'm struggling to remember things. I am no longer able to work through the same logical puzzles that I often enjoy. I'm a very logical person, a very analytical person. I very much enjoy puzzles. Um, like shrines in Zelda games are like my favorite parts of the Zelda games, the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I really enjoy puzzles, like most people that are logical and analytically based people. So when I get to a point where I'm not able to reason through things the way I used to, when I start experiencing mental fog, I get greatly alarmed because I rely heavily on my ability to process things and analyze things, and I rely heavily on logic in order to function. And when I can no longer perform those same mental calculations, I feel very nervous. But as I'm noticing that pieces of my memory are fading faster and faster from this lack of oxygenated blood getting to the brain from my neurocardiogenic syncope, I'm finding that I need to document everything I can now so that I don't forget, so it's not lost to the ages. I intended on serving for another decade before I retired and started, you know, writing autobiographies and whatnot. But sometimes you just have to be adaptable. I am going to use this medium to catalog my life, and I wanted to share with you the reason that I am doing that is because I am beginning to lose myself and I can feel it. My mind is slipping, and I want to make sure that I record while I can. Um, when I was a youngster, my grandfather got diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and one of my um, one of the things that I really appreciated that they did is that they had him record his life story, and I want to record my life story for my kids, my grandkids, my siblings, so that people can learn from me and pass that knowledge on, and so that I can look back and remember bits that I've forgotten, because this might be what I have to look back on for my own memories at some point. Hopefully, not in the near future. They are working on getting um, something to mitigate my loss of consciousness. There's a strong probability I'll be getting a pacemaker installed that will make it so I don't have the lack of oxygenated blood to the brain, so I can continue to function at my optimal capacities. Currently, I don't have one. I have lost consciousness uh, once today, twice yesterday. Um, it's happening more and more frequently, and my memories are slipping more and more. I couldn't recall going to the store um, yesterday, but there was a bag of groceries and things like that was here. But I had apparently told my wife that I, went to the store and all of that, and I had a perfect recollection of it before I passed out. But after I passed out, I was missing bits of the day. So it's just, I need to start cataloging my life so that I don't lose it. So that's why. That's a very deep reason to start a little podcast on, but that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I also happened to the other day see some other people doing a podcast, and I thought to myself, why am I writing these journals? Because I was handwriting journals. I grew up religious, and one of the tenets of the LDS faith that I was raised in is that we're record keeping people. And so I have always kept a good record of my life. And so this seemed like a very good medium. It was easy for me to consume because I was watching these guys on this podcast, and I thought, I would love to have had something like this of my grandpa instead of, all we have is the audio recordings of his interview where he talked about his life. Um, so I'll start probably in chronological order, going through my life story over the course of the next week or two. I'll try to keep the videos to 15 minutes, 10 and 20 minutes, so that they're short and easy to follow. And I will try to stay on track to the best of my ability. But I think that there will be some uh, pretty good things that I get to share that maybe people didn't know my motives behind things or whatever, and I'll be able to share a little bit about lessons I've learned, things that I've done that I maybe shouldn't have or regret, that maybe I'll um, prevent somebody else from making those types of mistakes. So um, that's all I have for now. I will continue this in the next video. We'll start with where I was born, how I was raised, and maybe I'll find some pictures as I'm going through these and put them on screen and show you little pictures of my youth and things like that. But that's all I have.